So, I just got back from a run of shows with the Pineapple Thief in support of their album, It Leads to This. And what better time to go through and show you some of my favourite parts to play live. So the verse part in Put It Right is a really good example of the kind of palm muted rhythm part I found myself doing quite a lot of on the album. I think those kind of parts are a really good way of keeping the momentum going, but without getting in the way of other elements. So when you've got like a slower tune, it's a good way of just like giving it a nice little push without it being too obnoxious.
How to figure out, do all roads lead to here? Another one bails out, there's no one here, no chance to figure it out. Not all roads lead to here.
So the riff in the middle of Every Trace of Us is a pretty big moment for me, you know, when we play it live. I step forward, right front and centre, and I try to play the riff without looking down as much as possible, kind of staring out the audience and, you know, looking moody and all that stuff. And that's cool, no complaints there, but I think one of the things I really like about playing this riff is that with a riff like this, there's a real kind of temptation to play it very precisely, especially with your picking hand. You know, it's a single note line, so you could play it very kind of carefully, very little movements, and just, you know, play the string you need to play, right? But with this part, it kind of gives me an opportunity to get my inner funk player out, you know, so when I play this part, it's not precise like that. It's I strum the whole thing, so then it becomes about blocking with your fretting hand, really. But you kind of are leaning into it, you know, so it's an opportunity, you know, to get your Nile Rodgers out. Or for me, really, a massively influential player is this guy Stevie Salas, who, you know, really is where I got a lot of my kind of rock funk chops from. So yeah, it's really nice to have an opportunity to play that kind of style. So yeah, if you're gonna play this riff, lean into it like a funk player, that's what I say. The Frost would often be an opener for us, so it's got that kind of built-in first song vibe, you know what I mean? It's the first song of the night, you walk out there, and it starts off with what I believe is a three-part between me, Bruce and Steve, you know, so it's kind of quiet riff, and then suddenly Gavin comes in and the whole band gets loud and we hit that riff. So that riff is a very special moment within itself. My favourite version of that riff is obviously the one at the end where we kind of build up to it, and it's a really loud kind of moment where we're really kind of rocking out. And yeah, I always enjoy that last riff. It's always a special moment, the end of the first tune, you know. Now It's Yours is another one of those tunes that really is like a slow build. It's very spacious and moody. And that's helped out in no small part by Steve, who in the intro of this tune, when we do it live especially, builds up this collection of like synth drones, and it's very kind of moody and spacious and textural, and then kind of builds up slowly until the vocals come in, you know, and it's a very atmospheric moment, I think. And also I love the lyric, you know, I can't believe we ran away to save ourselves, you know, I really always enjoy hearing that, and it really speaks to me, that kind of lyric. So yeah, I love the tune, but as you can imagine, again, as a rock guitar player, completely guilty as charged. I love the middle bit where we play this massive riff. I get the whammy bar out, and you know, when you see us play it live, sometimes I'll play it over the neck, which serves no use or purpose at all. You know, guilty as charged. I love to play the heavy riff. It's my favourite part for sure. So sue me. So all that's left, I really cheated with this one because I kind of realized as I was making this, it kind of dawned on me that I think it might be one of my favorite tunes to play in the whole set. You know, when I was thinking about my favorite parts, it was like, I really love the verse bit, but then I really love the bit where it gets heavy, and then one of my favourite groove sections is right sort of near the middle end, where if we had our time, and I just love playing that. I cite that as maybe my favourite part to play in the whole night, you know, so. But then I love the ending. I love the way it suddenly ends, and me and Bruce do this dual guitar thing where we stand facing each other oftentimes, and we play these kind of counterpoint rhythms to each other, and that's really great. So yeah, I've completely cheated with this one, and it turns out that my favourite part to play is pretty much the entire tune, so check it out.
Some of the world, some of the raging sea, some of the ghosts to be so low. You're in some of the land, drowning in the raging sea. Is it all there is to believe? If we had more time, we had more time for us. The ends of this earth is not enough. If we had our time, it's squaring up to us. What can we say? It's not enough. It's so what's left to figure out. It's all that's left to figure out.
So it leads to this, obviously the title track of the album, one of the singles, so it's always a good moment to play it live, and I believe, if memory serves, we play it sort of towards the end of the set, so there's a sort of celebratory vibe, especially at the end of the tune where we're playing this riff for a while. In terms of my favourite parts to play, there's two parts really, which is that first fuzz riff that comes in after the first chorus. And then the second part is the verse that comes straight after it. So I've kind of played those two parts together. And especially with that verse part, what I love about it is that me and John double each other. And I just love that feeling where we really lock in and we play it really tightly together. And I really concentrate on John's groove because he's a really tight bass player. So you want to lock in with him, and I love the feeling of it when we play that verse riff together and we really lock in together. It's a real good moment. I really look forward to doing it, and it helps that we do a bunch of backing vocals together too, and it's always fun when you get to step forward and do 3-part harmonies. The fact that we get to play this cool locked in riff together at the same time, it's a massive bonus. So of course, yeah, I love this part.
For all this progress, what you see is no surprise, but it's not the end of it. The future, what is left, is right here, standing by your side. So it leads to this. How could we get?
To Forget is a really special moment in the set for me. We bring it down a bit, Bruce grabs his acoustic guitar, and he does this really nice finger picking thing at the start, and then his vocal comes in and Gavin comes in with the hi-hats and builds it up. So it's a very nice building tune, and yeah, it's a really special moment and quite an emotive one, I think. But as you can imagine, as a rock guitar player, my favourite bit is the bit where it kicks off in the middle and we get really heavy. I tune my guitar to drop A, believe it or not, so take some twisting of the old machine heads, but yeah, I always look forward to playing this massive heavy section in the middle. Rubicon. So Gavin counts us in, and then we go into these heavy chord stabs, kind of seemingly out of nowhere, and then we go into the verse. And the verse is kind of another example of that kind of palm mute rhythmic kind of thing that I've done a fair amount of on this album. And in this case, I was really thinking about one of my favourite bands, Everything Everything, who on their album Arc do a few of these kind of palm mute rhythm ideas, and certainly more like this one, which is to say that it kind of has its own inbuilt melody in a way, so hopefully it's kind of catchy in its own right, or at least hooky to some degree. So yeah, I always enjoy playing this part, and again, I love anything that sees me, locking in rhythmically. I really enjoy that kind of thing. I've kind of cheated with this tune a little bit. I've left some of the bridge in and the chorus, but I enjoy playing it, so there you go. So, there you have it. Those are my favourite parts to play live from the album, It Leads to This. Let me know if I missed out any of your favourite parts, and I'll catch you next time.